They are on a quest to redefine records and capture gold in what promises to be a very historic moment in there, just like I had said. And within Uganda, there is a very long list of representatives that, of course, are got to cross in there. And, of course, Faith Kipyegon is from Kenya and is not just any athlete. She is a middle distance runner who has consistently shattered expectations and records alike over every other contender that gets to come with her in any competition with back-to-back Olympic gold medals already under her belt. Kipyegon has raised the bar even higher heading into the Paris Olympics in there. In the 2023 season, she was nothing short of a spectacular, breaking 3 world records in there is the 1,500 meters and the 5,000 meter race in there at the World Championship in Budapest. She became the first woman to clinch both the 1,500 and the 5,000 meter titles, setting the stage for a historic attempt at the Paris Games. I'm talking about one representative, Kipyegon, who comes from Kenya in there. Her ambition does not stop at defending her titles. She also aims to convert her World Championship double victory into an Olympic one, potentially in Paris, and the games will kickstart. And then there is one who comes from Nigeria. By the way, I'm doing a roundup of how the Olympics game is going to be looking like, which very competitive people have been representing the various countries and all that. The profile that I just did give you is of one girl who did clinch a double victory in Budapest in the most recently concluded marathon races in there, the 5,000 meters and the 1,500 meters in there. I'm talking about the Kenyan lady who went in and represented very well. We shall be also looking at one athlete that comes from Nigeria. Of course, she's called Tobi Amusan, who has redefined the 100-meter hurdles, holding the world record. A slew of titles from the African Championship, the African Games, and the Commonwealth Games in there. Yet an Olympic medal has eluded following a very narrow chase in there. We are talking about Tobi, who hails from there is Nigeria in there, and of course she has literally also won in a couple of titles in there in most of these races, yeah. And then when it comes to there is Uganda, we have a lot of names from the Eastern, a lot of people who have literally ever gone there to, of course, represent us, and they have always gone there to represent us very, very well in there. And then with some of the Uganda names, of course, there is a very long list of Ugandan athletes that have, of course, gone in there to represent, that have gone to represent us in there. But of course, the most recent is Toma Dradriga, who recently went in and of course also represented and did do us so proud in there. And of course, just like I had said, the team left Uganda, and they were flagged off by the president and the first lady, of course, in there. And the event that they have been flagged off is one event that I have literally been talking about, the Summer Olympics, which of course started and is going up to July 11th August, from August 26th to 11th July 2024 in Paris, France in there. Uganda, of course, is among the 206 countries in the world that definitely will take part in the Summer Olympic Games in Paris City, France, from 26th up to there is 11th August. The East African country will be represented by a gallant team of 25 athletes over the forthcoming games in there. The bulk of the participants, of course, are runners, 21 In the different distances, the other 4 coming from swimming, 2 rowing, and 1 will be cycling in there. And of course, International Airport, which of course they did leave that was on Tuesday, just like I had said, they were flagged off by the president of the country and of course the first lady in there. And I would like to also confirm to you that they did reach very safely in there. They will meet the Advance Party already in Paris. That has Chief Demission Moses Mwase, General Secretary Beatrice Aikoru, athlete Grace. The Team Uganda was officially flagged off by the president, just like I had said. Words over the president as he did flag off their athletes on Tuesday in there. He did say, please exhibit discipline, sportsmanship, and magnanimity. I urge you to use this opportunity to build a character of resilience. Sports people do not give up until they win. I wish you safe travels and good luck, the president urged upon flagging off the team. The athletics team has 10 men with US-based sprinter Tarsis Gracious Orogot are taking part in the 200-meter race in there. Tom Dradriga will compete in 800 meters. The long distance cluster has Jacob Chiplimo, who will be taking part in the 5,000 meters and 1,000 meters in there. Double world record holder Joshua Cheptegei will be taking on, there is also the 5,000 and 1,000 meters for men. And then Oscar Chalimo will, of course, be representing in the 5,000 meters for men. And then Martin Magengo Kiprotich will be representing Team Uganda in, there is the 10,000 meter race. Leonard Chemonges will take part in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, as well as 3 marathoners in there. Victor Chiplengat, Stephen Kisa, and Andrew Rotich Kwemoi will also be in the women, will represent the men in there. The women pool has 11 athletes. Halima Nakai, who will take part in the 800 meters. Winnie Nayondo, who will take part in the 1,500 meters. And then Joy Cheptoyek will, of course, represent in the 5,000 meters and the 1,000 meters in there. Esther Chobet will, of course, take part in there is the 5,000 meter race. And then there is Belinda Chemutai, who will also represent in, there is the 1,000, the Belinda, of course, will take part in the 500 meters race. And then Sarah Cholengat will take part in the 1,000 meters race. Annette Chemejich Cholengat, also 1,000. Peruth Chemutai, 3,000 meters steeplechase. Stella Chesang, marathon. Marceline Cholengat, marathon. And Rebecca Cheptegei will also take part in, there is the marathon. There are 6 coaches who will handle the athletes to include Benjamin Niger, Peter Chelengat, Grace Chesang, Faustino Kiwa, Paul Okelo, and Adranias Ruita in there. Those are some of the coaches that, of course, will be escorting some of our athletes that I just did give you the names in there. Plus, of course, the different races that they will be taking part in there. And then in swimming, remember this time around, Uganda is not only going to take part in athletes, in athletics, just like we always know. Team Uganda does not joke when it comes to athletics. We've always gone in there. We've come with the medals, even bronze, even silver. So definitely when it comes to athletics, trust the game, trust our guys, from the Eastern. They always go in there and do us so proud and come back with the trophies, wherever they represented from. But this time around, Uganda, of course, will be taking part in quite a couple of sports disciplines in there. We already discussed athletics, and we shall be looking at swimming in there, plus the various representatives that will go in there to represent us. And also, we have one person, by the one representative in cycling, something I think it's the first time that Team Uganda will be representing in cycling in there. So basically, talking about swimming, 2 swimmers will represent the country In the water sport of swimming, Gloria Muzito, 100 meters freestyle, and JC Sengonzi that will of course represent in the 100-meter butterfly. Also, these two swimmers will be handled by Tony Kasuja as their head coach. In the meanwhile, for athletics, we did have around 4 or 5 coaches either that I just gave you the names. Yeah. For swimming, we have 2 representatives that definitely will go in there to represent us. And then in cycling, Charles Kagimo will compete in the men's road race. Uganda makes a return to Olympics in cycling after 40 years since Los Angeles in 1984. When the duo of Ernest Bule and Muhammad Mukasa took part. Remember, I just did tell you, cycling, we've never been there. Man, it's going to be a very tough one, although it's also going to be very interesting to see that Team Uganda, just like I had said, we always go in there to represent in athletics. And when we go in there to hit in athletics, we don't leave the gold medals, we don't leave the bronze, the silvers and all that. We pick some and return with them to Uganda. We've already done that in athletics. So this time around, we shall be also representing swimming. Yeah, we've ever been there in swimming, and we've represented and come back with a couple of medals in swimming. But cycling, it's the first time we're going there after 40 years, just like I had anticipated. Kagimu's coach is Ishaka Bukenya, who will of course handle in the cyclist, who of course will go in there to represent in Uganda in the Olympics. That of course is taking part down in Paris right about now up to 11th August. Yeah. So in rowing, U.S.-based Grace Kathleen Noble returns to the Olympics for the 2nd time in a row. Noble will compete in the single scull rowing event and shall be coached by the duo of Dr. James Anthony Martinez and Batenga Nachi Souzi in there that will be taking on Noble Grace in that competition schedules. There are different schedules over these various competitions. Rowing, Noble gets Uganda underway on 27th August until 3rd August 2024. Swimming for Gloria Muzito, the 100-meter freestyle starts on Tuesday, 30th July. That is next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Today is Thursday. Starts on Tuesday, July 2024, with the heats and semi-final, and ends Wednesday, 31st July 2024. And then another swimmer, Joyce Sengonzi, 100 meters butterfly, will dive into the swimming pools on Friday, 2nd August till 3rd August 2024. Cyclist Kagimu will be in action on 3rd August 2024. So I am giving you the different schedules so that you can follow in specifically when it is time for our Ugandan representatives to go in there and represent us, by the way. The athletics program starts on 2nd August with women's 800 meters and 5,000 meter race 1, and finals in the men's 10,000 meters in there. Technical officials. Uganda also did travel with 4 technical officials that will officiate at these games. These are Joseph Collins Semanda, modern pentathlon, Haji Salim Musoke, weightlifting, and Max Kanyerezi, aquatics, and Shamira. Aquatics is water. And Shamira Nevada, who of course will be officiating in there is the football. And of course some of the names that will be representing in men include Tassis Gracious Orogot, Jacob Tom Rodriguez. Tassis Gracious will be representing, Orogot will be representing in the 200 meters, Tom Rodriguez 800 meters, Jacob Chiplimo 5,000 and 10,000 meters, Joshua Cheptegei 5,000 and 10,000, Oscar Chiplimo 5,000, Martin Magenjo Kiprotich 1,000, 10,000, Leonard Chemonges 3,000 meter steeplechase, Victor Chiplangat marathon, Stephen Chisa marathon, Andrew Kwemoi marathon. Those are some of the men that are out there to represent and raise our flags very, very high in there. And then in the women's category, We have Halima Nakai 800, Winnie Nayondo 1,500, Joy Cheptutek 5,000 and 10,000 respectively, Esther Chebet 5,000, Belinda Chemutai 5,000, Sarah Chelengat 10,000, Annette Chelengat, also Peruth and Chemtai 3,000 meters steeplechase, Stella Chesang marathon, Marceline Chelengat marathon, Rebecca Cheptegai marathon. Those are some of the names that we shall be having in the athletics. Swimming, like I did say, this is just a roundup of exactly what I already discussed. Swimming, we shall be having Gloria Muzito, 100 freestyle, and then Jesse Sengozi, 100 meters butterfly. Cycling, we only have one person, Charles Kagimu, men's road race. Rowing, we have Kathleen Grace Noble, single scull rowing. Coaches include Ishaka, and for rowing, James Anthony Martinez, Batenga Nachisozi. Swimming has Tony Kasuja. Athletics has a couple of coaches in there. We have Benjamin Niger, Peter Chelengat, Grace Chesang, Faustino Kiwa, Paul Okello, Adrenas Ruto. In the technical officials were the last people that, of course, I did give you in there. A couple of a couple of course, representations are coming through from there is Team Uganda in there. Very, very interesting, yeah. And I should say, we wish, of course, them the best. Definitely from Team Wiso Time and National TV, and of course Uganda at large. I know definitely some of these people will be coming back there with some of the medals. Some medals definitely will come to Uganda. For me, I trust we shall have medals in swimming. Yes, we've ever gone there to represent. We shall have medals in athletics. Because some of the names that have gone in there to represent in athletics, these are people that have always been there, that have represented, and that have come back home with, of course, medals. I think the most difficult will be the other two, that is rowing, where Noble gets to represent us, and cycling, where Mahmoud gets to represent us, because these sports discipline have not been there. It has been quite some time that we represented. For the cycling, it is over 40 years. So it's going to be just for there is the very first time in there. But then, all in all, our people always go in there and represent and do us proud. So definitely we trust in them, we trust in their work, and know that they will go there and represent us and come back. And that was all we had, of course, for the athletics bit of it, with a couple of our representatives that are in Paris. They did leave here on Tuesday, and they were flagged off by the president and the first lady, the president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Timuhabure, in there, and the first lady, definitely. And this team did reach us so well in France in there, and the competitions are starting. So that is that we had in for the Olympics are in the full roadmap, the representatives, the competitors, plus their coaches, and when they will participate. So get very glued to your TV screens on the different channels in there, because most of these will be coming to you. And I literally also gave you when most of these people will take part in there, and they will represent. Yeah, so go in there, watch our people do us very proud. Yeah, that was Olympics, bringing to you France right here. And definitely that is what, of course, we shall be doing throughout in the consequent sports shows. We shall be bringing to you the Olympics in Paris right here, yeah, on your screens of National TV. And diving into there is now football. Wachiso Giants have announced Zambian Eric Kabamba as their first signing over the current transfer window. The winger has signed a 2-year contract, according to the statement released by the club on their official media pages. Kabamba has previously played for Zambia's Kabwe Warriors and Buildcon, and also had a stint in Tanzania with young Africans in there. The Purple Sharks are expected to have more new arrivals joining Kabamba after losing several players so far, with many still expected to leave the camp over the Purple Sharks. The club also confirmed ex-player Stephen Bengo and legendary Tony Maweji as their new coaching combo to steer the club. And I think they just They just unveiled these two coaches recently. That's why we are seeing now a new entrance into the camp. Meanwhile, the club is expected to get in 2 to 3 foreign players on loan from young Africans, with two sides having a cordial relationship in there. Other expected new faces include midfielder Nicolas Kasozi, as well as a former Vipers winger Dennis Mwemezi in there. And of course, that is quite a very, very good one. For there is the Purple Sharks. Remember, they have lost in a couple of players, just like we did discuss. And then they are also one side that, of course, has been very, very silent about signings here. Our clubs have been getting in new entrants into their squad, but our Chiso Giants is one side that, of course, with other clubs inclusive, they have been one side that has been very silent in there, with us seeing players leaving the camp, but we don't see new players coming in there. And then Lugazi Football Club confirms international build-up duel with a Kenyan opposition in there. The new entrance international friendly match. Lugazi is slated to take on an international friendly with Uganda versus Tusker, where Tusker is located in Kenya, which will be on Saturday, 10th August, and venue will be Lugazi Stadium, Najemba Mabira. Kickoff will be at 4 p.m. in there. This international friendly match will be held on Saturday, just like I had said, at Lugazi. This will be their first practice match of the pre-season, as they prepare for a very big challenge that comes ahead of them. There is to take part in the Star Times Uganda Premier League. Lugazi Football Club was recently promoted to the top flight league in Uganda in the apex of the 2023-2024 big league season, playing second fiddle to champions Police Football Club. Mbale Heroes is the other third club that was promoted to the League of Men. Against Tusker, Lugazi Football Club is expected to get the fair test, playing vastly experienced side with 13 league titles to boast of. Management has set, of course, a very huge entry fee in there to for those within Lugazi that literally will be wanting to access in and watch this very, very game. This will be an opportune time for the hungry and thirsty fans to have a glimpse of their team that has a new coach in Sadiq Sempiji and a female assistant Oliver Mbekeka, a couple of new recruits as Ian Namanya, Rogers Adrico, Sharif Saka, Dennis Lubowa, Nelson Mandela, Emmanuel Obua, and others will also be on the show in there, because ever since the season closed up, we haven't seen there is a team Lugazi or any other team, of course, in any clash, apart from a soccer club Villa that was taking part in the Sekafa games. And then also we did see Kataka traveling out to Ethiopia to have a friendly there, which they did win. Tusker is the second Kenya club that will be in Uganda after Police Football Club, who visit St. Mary's Chitende this coming Saturday, 27th July, to face Vipers Sports Club. This comes at a time the reigning Stanbic Uganda Cup champions Chitara traveled to Ethiopia in there. And of course, quite very, very interesting for there is a team Lugazi that they will be taking part in there. And also, as we close the first, us to look at women football, where Kawempe Muslims learn CAF Women's Championship League opponents. Yeah, Uganda's representative in this year's CAF Women's Champions League Sekafa Zonal qualifiers, Kawempe Muslim Ladies Football Club, have learned the teams they will be facing in the draws conducted on Wednesday at CAF headquarters in Cairo, Egypt. The reigning FIFA Women's Super League Championship the group has Tanzania's Giants, Simba Queens Football Club, and Minoza Fada Football Club from Djibouti, respectively. Kawempe Muslim will begin their journey against PVP Buyenzi on 18th August before taking on Simba Queens Football Club on 21st August, and then Fada Football Club 3 days later. This is going to be a very tough one, yeah. Group A has hosts CBE Football Club from Ethiopia, Yei Joint Stars Football Club from South Sudan, Kenya Police Bullets Football Club, Warriors Queens Football Club from Zanzibar, and Rwanda's Rayon Sports Women's Football Club, respectively. In there, the Sekafa Zonal qualifiers will take place in Ethiopia between 18th August and till 4th September in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Only champions per region qualify for the final tournament that will take place later this year. Very interesting. And some of the names that have come through in some of the groupings seem to be going in there for the very first time. We've never, okay, probably they could be doing that. Teams from South Sudan, especially the women's team, they're quite doing very well. They're winning in trophies in Sudan for fun, and that is quite very interesting. And the rest of the teams that definitely will join in our Kawempe Muslims that are champions there. But we trust the girls, they will definitely go to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, represent well. They have always been champions. Each time the Sekafa Women's Zone has taken place in Uganda. Yeah, that was all definitely I had for you, Susie, for the halftime. We shall be sliding off a very short commercial break. Don't you go away. Keep talk to West Nile